Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
This is the Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, March the 19th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and a lot of people heading back this weekend from spring break, which has been just glorious with some very nice warm weather. Let's go right to the Skycam imagery this morning. There's a shot of the sunrise over Trussville as we look off to the east-southeast, and you can see a few contrails in the sky down there. How about some boat trails? We got a boat zipping up the river there at Gadsden as we're zoomed in on that shot there from that high point in the Gadsden area. So just an interesting shot this morning. On our surface map, there's a cold front lying across, actually I think it's across Tennessee, but anyway, drawn in here a little bit further north. We don't have a 500 millibar chart this morning, but we're generally under a ridge. Warm weather across the southern tier of the United States, 50s and 60s all the way from the mid-Atlantic states across the southeast into Texas and over into parts of Arizona and southern California. Across central Alabama, looking a little closer to home here, we're generally in the lower 50s for the most part. And we have an interesting pattern shaping up where we're going to have to watch for a little bit of the wedge. Radar this morning doesn't show much, and you can see that most of the showers are actually a little bit north of the cold front. Storm Prediction Center is not outlooking any specific areas for severe weather, although the C-text, that is an area where it is marginal. Until we look out at the long range day 4 through 8, and day 5 is Wednesday into Thursday morning. And day 5 is the day that there's a possibility we might see some severe weather centered over Kentucky and Tennessee. The 06Z GFS model run this morning, we don't have any real hard systems to put your finger on, so it's kind of a blah kind of forecast. There's no real systems here. So surface high pressure keeping the northeast cool, but that surface high could bring us a little bit of a wedge. We stay under an upper ridge on Sunday, but notice the surface high moves over Pennsylvania, New York, and you notice that pattern that allows cold air to come around the eastern side of the Appalachians and down into Georgia. Whether or not it gets here is somewhat questionable, but it's very possible. That's why we're including a few clouds and a very slight chance of a shower over in the eastern part of the state. And of course, we'll be watching that. That may mean we'll have to adjust temperatures just a little bit. The ridge stays with us on Monday, so we remain dry, and as the ridge stays with us, of course, the surface high moves off into the Atlantic, so that takes the wedge away from us. The upper ridge stays with us and very strong over the southeastern U.S., helping to force all the traveling weather systems to the north. By Wednesday, the ridge is breaking down a little bit, and this is the day that the Storm Prediction Center has outlooked a little bit of severe weather possibilities for the area centered on Tennessee and Kentucky. And, of course, that means a surface low in that area and perhaps a chance for showers down here, although the influence of that trough moving through the flow may be very short-lived, and I don't think we're going to see much of a washout for sure, and it looks like very little in the way of rain. The flow goes somewhat zonal as these short waves in the northern stream try to dampen down the ridge just a little bit on Thursday, but that still keeps us dry. However, on Friday, we begin to develop a little bit of a troughiness along the east coast, and that troughiness puts us into a slight northwesterly flow, which means if you take a look at the thicknesses, the 540 line comes on down into extreme northern Tennessee or northeastern Tennessee. So it looks like a slight cool down is possible, especially in Friday and Saturday. So that would certainly be nice to see lows back in the 40s and highs in the 60s. That would still be a very beautiful day. The ridge is kind of just to our wedge on the ridge is just to our west on Saturday, a week from today. So we're still under that slight northwesterly flow, which will keep temperatures near seasonable normals. All right, let's go out into voodoo country, and we do see a strong short wave coming through the flow on Monday the 28th, and that should bring us possible round of weather. We see another one on the 30th, so the flow very fast with successive, just 2 days apart here, successive shortwave troughs. And then we get back under a fairly zonal flow with slight ridging over the southeast again. So it looks like the end of the month and into the 1st of April could be a little bit dry once again. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Extreme video. I expect to have the next one posted first thing Sunday morning. Got a usher tomorrow at church, so got to get this done before I can go to church. In the meantime, I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, whatever your plans are, and enjoy this warm weather. Godspeed.
Each day there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.